Hey everybody, this is going to be the TradingView slash paper trading guide. So we're going to kind of go straight into it. I'm not going to fluff it up for you guys. So if you guys want just the paper trading guide on how to start paper trading, here's the timestamp on screen. Skip to this section of the video. If you don't want to do the whole thing, just the paper trading part, skip to that. And for everybody else, this is the full TradingView guide, how TradingView looks, what to do if you're stuck, if you're lost, if you're confused. So let's just get right into it. So right off the bat, this is a brand new account. I just loaded it up for you guys. Obviously, it's on dark mode. It might be light for you, some of you guys, but that doesn't really change anything. So, right off the bat, it sends you to Apple stock. I don't know why, and I don't know if Apple pays them, but anyways, yeah. So it'll send you here. It's a bunch of nonsense, but the first thing you're gonna want to do is just close this watch list right here by clicking the little icon. This is how you open the watch list, so you can look at some of the most popular stocks they have. Alerts. So if you can set price alerts, so you can click like add alert, and then if it crosses a certain price point, it'll tell you here. These are your drawings and your indicators. We'll come back more into this later. And then this is messages. I don't know who you're going to message on this website, but I guess if you wanted to DM somebody on TradingView, you could do that. There's also this stuff, screeners. Again, I never use any of these. Pine trees, if you're coding any sort of indicators, Pine script, you can do that. Again, I don't use any of this stuff, but I'm just kind of telling you guys how it works. Calendar, you can get news sources from here if you don't want to use Forex Factory. Again, I don't ever use this stuff, but if you guys are interested, you can look more into it. Community, right, is just like news. People post their own theories or something like that. Notifications, again, don't really need that. And then finally at the bottom, it kind of shows everything on here. So again, we're never really going to use these things. You can actually unfavorite these, all of them, and then you get rid of all of them from here, or you can, if you like any of them, you can keep them. And then there's this like help center, again, if you need that for some reason. So that is the entire right hand side. We're going to go on to the left hand side first, which is drawing. So you guys see my trading. If you guys watch my videos, you know I have a lot of drawings on my charts. And so these are the drawings. So this is just a trend line, which is just literally a line. You can customize the colors from here at the top. On mobile, it might pop up somewhere differently. This is just where it pops up from my computer. Or it might pop up on the side. Look for it. It'll be this little bar here. This is how you change the colors. This is how you change the text. If you click, this is the setting icon. I know it doesn't really look like a settings icon, but it is. You can even type text. So you can put text, right? And you can choose middle, center, top, bottom, all that good stuff. Again, style, you can put a middle point, so it shows the middle. Price labels, I don't know where that shows up. Oh, price label shows on the right here. Stats, you can show a lot of crazy stuff. You guys, there's so much customization. If you guys want to use any of this stuff, I'm going to be honest, I don't use anything other than the text occasionally, and I change the colors to the colors I like. After that, I never used any of this stuff. I'm just being honest. And if you guys customize it how you like, you can click this button right here, which is template, save drawing template as, and you can actually save it. So, oops, you can actually save it as a template here. You can change the bull, these things. I'm not gonna go super in depth onto every single drawing. This is kind of just like showing you guys how you can customize it. You can lock it so you don't mess with it. You can delete it. You can click these three dots and that opens the settings again. Oops, if I go here, visual order, right? So if you want to behind something, you can copy it, hide it, clone it. Again, I don't know if I use any of this stuff really, but if you guys like that, you can. So that's the basics of how they all work, and all of them will look the same, even though there's different tools, right? It's the same thing. You'll click this for this, save your template, make it bigger, make it smaller. Template will tell you this. Fib retracements. We're not gonna go super in depth into every single thing right here. I'll make a more in-depth video later, but this is kind of just to get you guys started. So these are all your drawings. If I'm going to be honest, you can favorite them as well, actually, real quick. So I'll show you guys. So you can click this little arrow key, and it opens the whole thing. And click the star. This is how you favorite things, and now it's saved to the top of your computer. So I'll show you guys kind of what I save. I save that tool. I save the fib retracement. I don't save any of these patterns. These patterns just, I don't care about them. I save like the brush. This one's kind of just like to draw things if I feel like drawing. Little artist. Rectangles I use. Paths I use. This is kind of just like my settings. You guys don't have to copy them if you don't want to, but you can put text, right? So you can type on the chart text. Oh, it's test, but same thing. So you guys can kind of start customizing your own charts for the drawings, everything you like to do. Magnet, I do recommend you click this magnet icon, click the little arrow, and click weak magnet. This kind of makes it so when you draw, it locks on to wicks or bodies like this. So instead of having to like kind of like put it right where you want it, you can just have it lock on automatically instead of having to do that. Also, if you're on a computer and you want to draw straight lines like I do, just hold the shift button and it'll automatically fix it, as you guys can see. So look, when I put it here, automatically locks it in at certain angles, so you don't have to try to make straight lines. You can just click shift. On mobile, I'm sorry, I don't know how to do it on mobile. I only know how to do it on my computer. And so there's also this measuring tool I use quite a bit, right? You can use it to measure how long and big and all that good stuff, right? Pause. But and that is it. And then there's the trash button you can use to remove all the drawings, all your indicators, etc., etc. So that's the drawing section. Now this little section also right here is where the indicators show up. As you can see right now, it's currently at volume. That's by default. You can just remove that. I don't use it. You can either you can hover over it and click the delete button, or sometimes you can just click the actual thing and just click the delete button. So that's it for the drawings for now. Now let's get into the top section right here. So obviously on the left is your as you can see, I'm logged in as 80 trades guide. That's your account. You can use your billing and stuff, settings, whatever. This is the ticker, which is basically what the stock you're actually looking at is. And we're going to go more in depth into this real quick. So keep an eye out. Wait a second, basically. Data types, I've never in my life even looked at this before. And honestly, I didn't know it was a thing until I started making this video. So you don't have to switch anything data. Just keep it at charts. I don't know if you want, like, yeah, you can switch it to documents, I guess, if you want to review their order or quarterly reports and stuff. But again, I never use that. And then there's this thing which is kind of niche. You can compare it against other things. So you can compare it to NASDAQ, I guess, ES. You can have a bunch of stuff. Honestly, guys, you don't really need to use that. Again, I've never used that tool in my life, but it's there if you like it, I guess. Now, this one is super important. So this D represents the time chart that we're on. So right now it's set on the 1-day chart, which means each of these candles represents one full day of trading, right? And I'm not going to go in super in depth right now about what the candlesticks and how they work, but just know that this is what I mean by time frames. So I recommend you guys favorite some time frames. The 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15, the hourly, and the 4 hour, and the day too if you want it. So that means these just quick save it. As you can see, now we have more times. You guys can use it to quickly hop in and out of different time frames. You can favorite more if you want. Sometimes I'll have the 3 minute as well. This kind of just helps me kind of organize my time frames a little bit. So this is how I would set up my chart. After the time frames, you have the candlesticks. Again, do not change these if you don't know what you're doing, because you're going to DM me and you're going to say, wait, why does my thing look like this? And I'm going to tell you, did you mess with the candles? And you're going to say yes. And I'm going to say, I told you not to do that. If you are a beginner, just stick with candles. Do not change it to anything else. Indicators. Now, a lot of people are going to try to tell you or sell you indicators like, oh, I have a premium indicator that's $80 a month and you get a trade like me. Don't fall for them. You don't really need any indicators. Sometimes they're a little convenience thing, right? You can use them to mark out small things if you're like lazy or if you don't want to look too hard. But you do not need any indicators. None of these are going to make you profitable, guys. These are just little lines of code that help, like, small things for your trading, but none of them are going to really make a big difference. And I actually recommend when you're first learning to not use indicators at all, so you can kind of build up that muscle memory of knowing how to draw out your stuff and, you know what I'm saying, annotate your chart. So I recommend avoiding indicators. These are templates. Again, you don't really need those. Alerts, so I mentioned this earlier, you can actually set alerts. So you can say, hey, I want it so if we're at $210, we will alert me and you get a notification. Again, you can kind of customize this however you want, but again, I never use those, so don't really see a need for you guys to use those if you don't know what you're doing, kind of, you know. And then finally we have the bar replay mode, which if you are on a basic plan, which is the free plan, you cannot use anyway, so don't need to worry about that. And then the arrows are obviously just going back and forth on whatever you deleted and stuff. So that's the main stuff of TradingView. This is the main icons. I know on mobile it's kind of hard to find these things. I'm sorry, guys. PC is just superior. Yes, you can trade on mobile, but the computer is just always going to be better. I'm sorry, guys. It's just easier to understand. And then, like you said, this is my saved stuff. This is if you want to have multiple charts, but again, if you're on the basic plan, you can't even have multiple charts open. You can save your template. I mean, it doesn't really make a difference. It saves it anyways. Quick search if you want to find anything, functions or tools. So maybe you forgot, like, oh, where's the rectangle tool? You can just search it up and it'll pop it up for you. Very helpful, actually, if you're new. Definitely keep an eye on this. It's a lightning bolt with the magnifying glass, or you can click Control K and it'll open it up. So if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know where I find the trend line, you can just type in trend line and it'll be right there. This is the settings icon. Now the settings icon, we're going to go in depth really quickly. So the settings icon is where you can adjust a lot of things of the actual chart itself. So you can change the colors of your candles. So let's say I wanted a different green. You can change it that. Say you didn't want your down close candles to be red, you wanted them to be purple or something. I don't know. You can do that. So you can change the wick color, the border color, and the body color. Made a little, just made a little Joker scheme, but you guys get what I'm saying. So you guys can use these. I have my custom colors. If you guys want, I'll just put up a screenshot or ask me on live, and I'll show you my chart colors, my personal ones. You guys are also going to want to make sure all your sessions are extended trading hours, not regular trading hours, because the extended is obviously has all the data. And when you put extended trading data, it's going to have all these backgrounds. It's going to say pre-post market hours backgrounds. Just set the opacity to 0 so you don't have to see all that nonsense clogging up your screen. Your time zone as well is super, super important. You can also adjust the time zone here at the bottom right where it has time zone. But you need to have your time zone to UTC -4 New York, because all of the trading stuff is on New York time. All the macro times are based in New York. Everything that I talk about, if I say 10 o'clock, it's New York time. All right, I know, even I don't live in New York, and I base everything off New York time. So definitely make sure your time zone is set to that, or you will be very confused when I tell you these things, and you're like, wait, it's midnight right now. And I'm like, no, it's 10 a.m. because we're on New York time. Status line, I don't really change any of this stuff. I don't really know what some of this stuff does, to be honest. Scales and lines, again, you don't really have to mess with any of this as far as I remember. I don't think any of this is really important. Now, canvas, this is where we get to more important stuff. If you want to change your background color, oh my gosh, I got flashbanged. There you go. You can change it to gray. You can change it to black. If you want a blue background, you can have a blue. If you want green, you can have green. Again, mess with this to your heart's content. If you want no grid lines, you can get rid of it so it's like a smooth thing. You want vertical grid lines, horizontal grid lines, both of them. Up to you. You guys can do that to your heart's content. Again, you can also do text colors if you want your text to be bigger or smaller. If you want the margins to be different, I guess, on the sides. Again, I don't mess with any of this stuff. This is kind of just how my chart looks. This is like the color this color scheme I have right now on my chart. So that is pretty much it for the settings. There is trading. There is some things that are important on here. So if you want to not have any confirmations when you trade, you can click one-click trading, and you'll automatically enter without being like, are you sure? Or without editing. I won't recommend this. You can also have a sound when you execute. I don't use this stuff, but again, if you guys want, feel free to change any of these settings to your heart's content. Events, nonsense, again, don't really use any of that stuff. So that is pretty much everything. So again, the only important thing from there was make sure you're on. You can also check some of this stuff down here. Make sure you're on extended trading hours, and make sure you're on New York time. Perfect. Back to the tickers, because I did say we were going to go into that. We're going to delete this Apple one, and we're going to look. We trade futures, or I trade futures. If you want to trade futures, you're going to obviously click the futures category. If you want to look at options chart, look at options. If you want to look at crypto, look at crypto. Futures is the one I trade. You can click this little arrow here, and you can get the specific contracts. I will tell you, there is only 2 contracts you should be looking at, which is the continuous contract, which is the year-round one. Oops, as you can see. When you switch to futures, the blue background is from the extended trading hours. So again, this is why you're going to go to canvas. I think it was symbol, electronic trading hours. You're going to put it to 0. You do not have to do that for every single stock, but you have to do it for different types of stocks. So you're going to have to do it once for futures, once for options, whatever, and then it'll be gone forever. So don't worry about it. Anyways, back to what I was saying. If we go to NQ, you only should be trading the first one, which is NQ1 exclamation point, which is the year-round continuous contract. It never changes if you want. This is kind of like the lazy man's NQ, or you can choose I don't know what they're called, the rollover contracts, right? The ones that change every few months. They're the exact same thing. As you can see, the chart did not change whatsoever, but the chart will change if I go to here and I do next month's or next year's chart. So if I look at the one for, let's say September, all of a sudden it looks very different. If your chart looks like this, double check that you are on either the continuous or the most recent contract, because you will have very, very different charts. So please make sure you do that. And we also trade, there's also ES, MNQ, the micros. So if you guys want to trade micros, which if you don't know, real quick, again, just check out the trading terms guide that I have in the Discord. But the micros are going to be the 1/10 size. Again, the exact same thing, looks the same, but you have reduced risk, reduced leverage. So definitely keep an eye out for that. We're going to be trading on this continuous micro chart for now. So that is kind of a generic overview of TradingView. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that you guys might be interested in, but I think that's pretty much everything to get you started. So again, your time frames, you have your drawings. You guys can have the settings I have. I'll post like screenshots of my settings if you guys want it. Or I recommend you kind of just go wild, right? I mean, if you want a purple fair value gap, have a purple fair value gap. Who's going to stop you? So definitely that's pretty much everything for the TradingView guide. Now we're going to get into how to paper trade on TradingView. So let's get right into it. You're going to click this buy button. I don't know where the login button went. It used to be a thing, but I guess now you have to click this. When you go to click buy, it's going to tell you, wait, you need a broker to log in, and they're going to give you all these different options. And all of these different options are for different things. Some of them are for options trading, some of them are for futures trading. Right now, we don't care about that. We only care about paper trading right here, paper trading. You're going to click paper trading. You're going to click connect, and it's going to pop up this order menu. We're going to get rid of that for now. Now you are logged into paper trading. If you want to look at your account, you click this arrow at the bottom or the big screen right here, and it logs you in, and this is how you have your paper trading account. By default, it sets you to 100 grand. You don't have to change that if you want. I mean, it's fun money, right? You can flex right now. Everyone, post on your Instagram, I have 100K that I made off trading, if you want to LARP trading. But if you actually want to learn trading, keep watching. So you can make new accounts. You can create another account if you'd like. You can name it whatever you want. You can put first paper trading. Let's do that. Account name, let's do $20,000 instead of 100,000. So we're going to set it to 20. Right? USD, obviously, don't change this, please. If I see any of you guys trading in the euro or something, I'm going to throw a fit. Do not change the leverage. Do not change these leverages because these are how they are by default. So it gives you an accurate assessment of real trading. This is how they're actually leveraged. Do not change these numbers. If you want to add commission, you can. I don't think you have to. It's not that realistic, right? And if you really want to be realistic, you can enable it. But other than that, you can click create. Boom, it loads your new account. You can have this. If you blow it somehow, if you lose every single dime, you can just click reset, and again, it will reset everything, resets your order history and positions, but you can reset your account if you somehow blow through all this in 5 minutes. That is paper trading. If you want to log out, you just click this, log out, and you're back to the default, and you have to relog back in. But when you relog back in, connect again, it still saves everything. So beautiful. Don't worry about losing your data. You can click like this. You can kind of mess with it so you only show like the balance, so you don't have it fully taken up, but you can also look at your P&L and stuff while you're trading. Now, that's pretty much everything when it comes to logging into paper trading. Again, here's the settings. Everything should look like this. Perfect. All right, everyone understood? Perfect. Now, how do you start paper trading? Now, if you're trading futures, there are two options to paper trade futures. As you can see, this little D right here, I haven't explained it. This means your data is delayed. So because of futures exchange requirements, you cannot have live data unless you pay for it. Why? I don't know. That's just what they decided. So I guess we just have to suck it up. Now, you can pay for the data on TradingView, which does cost some amount of money. I'm pretty sure you have to have TradingView Premium, which is already a couple bucks a month. And then the data package is like another $5 to $10 a month, maybe $50 a month for everything. But that is the easiest way because you can paper trade directly. Everything's set up. You'll get access to the replay mode. You'll get access to the multiple charts, whatever. Do I think it's worth it? Maybe. I don't know. I never used it. When I was started, there was a different method, but now that method is, I guess, patched. So you can't really do it the way I did it when I start. Sorry, guys. But that is the most expensive way, but it is also the easiest way. So if you just want a super simple, just pay for the package, the minimum package. Do not buy the extra stuff. You're only looking for the Chicago Mercantile Exchange or CME data. You do not need anything crazy. Don't let them upsell you into $100 a month data, okay? It should not be very expensive. So, how do we fix this delayed data if we don't want to pay? There is this wonderful website called NinjaTrader, which you might have seen over here. NinjaTrader and Tradeovate both offer 2-week free trials, but you cannot connect them to TradingView for free. So you'll be able to like click demo, log in, but you cannot log in unless you pay $10 a month, and it's only 2 weeks of free data, which kind of sucks. But you can also trade on their platforms, which look like this. I'll edit it in, boom, boom. That's what their platforms look like, the exact same thing. So you can trade over there for free. I'm not going to tell you how to set it up over there. I'm sorry. If you don't want to do that and you don't want to pay for the data, here is a quick third method that you can kind of use to get around all of that to start trading. So as you can see, this is what the S&P index futures looks like, right? So this index futures is just the S&P. So if you want to trade this without you know what I'm saying, trading it, the index futures, you can just type in SPY, which is not a futures, it's a all continuous contract. As you can see, it's pretty much the exact same thing. It's still the S&P. Obviously, the candles look differently, so you might want to choose a more liquid one. I don't remember which one it was. I'll put up on screen what your actual ticker should be. But basically, there is small ways to get around trading this. But if you ask me, guys, I'm sorry to say, I wish I could tell you there was a free way to do it, but there just isn't. Without the 2-week free trial, there used to be ways to get around it. I guess they kind of don't want people to scam them, basically. So unfortunately, guys, that is the only way to paper trade, which, again, it does cost a monthly amount of money, but I think there is a good amount of value from it. Again, if you guys want, you guys can just use NinjaTrader's platform, which I'll make a video on that if you guys want to trade on NinjaTrader. You can do that for free every 2 weeks. Just make another account. All you need is an email. So if you guys want, you guys can chart on TradingView and then like actually execute the trades on NinjaTrader's platform, which is kind of janky, but it is completely free. If you want to do it for completely free, that is probably the way to do it. And we're going to go into an actual paper trade now. So we can go here. So this is how you guys add orders on paper trading. So you're going to right click and you're going to click add order. You can also click this little plus sign right here, add order. You guys can automatically put like buy or sell, but don't do that. Just click add order. It's going to be easiest. You guys can also should be able to, okay, I guess not. Oh yeah, click the 3 dots and click undock and you can kind of put it here. This is how I have it. So if you want, dock it to the right, or you can click undock and you put it right here and you can kind of mess with it. So how do you place these paper trades? You would trade them like you normally would. If you want to do market orders, so market orders are basically just orders that are filled in right away. So look, boom, we can put, I know it's not real-time data. See, doing this may really, whatever. I know I don't have data. Don't ask me again. Send. Boom. Market order just fills you in at wherever we're trading at, whatever we're doing. You can't really control how it fills you. You could get a good fill, which means you're right where you want to be, or you could get a bad fill, and it kind of fills you in with more risk and less profit. I do not recommend market orders. I recommend the other option, which is limit orders. So limit orders means that it will only fill you in whenever price goes to that point. So if we click the limit order, it will not fill us in until we tap this little blue line right here, which is at 6,000, wow, 6666.5. So if it does not go to 6666.5, it will not fill me in. I recommend that for everybody. It's just easier. It lets you calculate. It's not as emotional. You're not rushing into trades, trying to boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? Now, you guys already see me messing with these two things. What is TP and what is SL? SL is a stop loss. You put that. If you're buying, you're going to put it below wherever you have it, right? Because if you're buying, that means your market's going to go up. So stop loss means you're going to want it stopping you from going down. And then there's take profit, which is where you're going to take out your profit. You do not have to do anything. All you have to do is click confirm, drag them to wherever you want. So let's say I think that we're going to get profit off at this high. And let's say I want my stop loss below this little candle wick low. You would do that, move them, click confirm, and they will automatically take you out if you click this one or this one. You do not have to manually click them. So let's say that price managed to somehow hit my take profit immediately. It would hit the little green line and then it'll close everything. It'll look like this, right? It's almost like you close the position. Everything will disappear. Your account will say, congratulations, you made a little bit of money, and you will be happy. If it hits your stop loss, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to hit the yellow line. It's going to take you out, and that's it for the day. The whole trade closes. That's all you have to do. Do not get rid of your take profit and stop loss if you're starting out, because you're just going to let your trade run, and it's just going to ruin your actual legitimate profit. And now, if you want to manually close your trade, you can do that, as I've already shown you guys, but I'll show you again. You can manually close your trade by just clicking this little X. Do not click the X on the stop loss or the take profit. It will not close your trade. It will only close the stop loss. You will not have a stop loss anymore or a take profit. You can add them back by just dragging them here, and I brought them back. But if you want to close your actual trade, if you're like, I don't feel it anymore, just click this little blue X. Boom, done. Now, if you want to short, it's the exact same thing. Market order, sell. Let's say I want it to go down. You can put your stop loss. Now, if you're selling, obviously you have to put your stop loss above it and your take profit below it, because you're shorting the market. If you don't know what shorting means, read the document that I have in the Discord that explains all these little terms. I recommend you start that actually before you even watch this video, but besides the point. Again, same thing. You can close this, and close this right there. And that's everything you need to know about paper trading. That's everything you need to know about TradingView. If you guys have any questions, please just DM me on the Discord, or yeah, catch me on a live and ask me questions in the live. So that's everything. That's how you paper trade for free, how you paper trade if you're spending money, and this is how you reduce your risk. And you don't go in with your $10,000 of savings and blow it all in 2 weeks. So that's everything. Again, if you have any questions, DM me or catch me on a live and ask me the question there. So I will see you guys later. Peace out.